Listen to the sounds of the revolution. Everybody's out on the street tonight. Everybody's cool. Everything's alright. Better pray that you're all man. Don't get home tonight. Let me drive my car where the wild things are. I got a green limousine. Everyone's a star, but they won't get far without a green limousine.
G'day and welcome to this episode of I Call Bull. This week we've got the VH Town & Country Plenum on the green limousine. It's screwed in place and packed in a few spots. There's been a lot of work gone into it. I've got video, so this is probably day 5 or 6 that I've been working on this. Just little bits, a couple of hours here and there. I did make a video about the plenum and how that's all finished up, but it really didn't come out that well on the YouTube shorts. I'm getting frustrated with my abilities, or lack thereof. It'd be really good if I knew what I was doing, but anyway, this is where we're at. So I'm just using tech screws. I've got to add to the tally board this week. I think I've spent about another $25 on this thing since the last time we tallied it up. So I've got a few tacks here, a few along there, just to bring it all together. And yeah, it's looking pretty good. I've got to obviously cut some of this out and weld new steel in there, but I've cleaned up the inside, made that look nice. You'll see that in this video. This side's better than the other side, but still not right. Really starting to feel like we're making some progress on this thing. Had a mate come and visit, and he looked at it in the state it's in now, and he goes, "At what point do you say that's no good?" And I thought, well, I've put 2 years into it, so not yet. But anyway, some people can't see what we can see as car people. So yeah, enjoy the episode and follow along, like, subscribe, do all that stuff if you want. I'll talk to you at the end. I did a thing. It's a very good thing. I like the thing. What do you think about the thing? You like it painted black? Well, they reckon you can't make an omelette without breaking eggs, and I've certainly been breaking eggs. Probably been at this an hour and a half, 2 hours on the VH Town & Country to get that plenum off. So, not the plenum, scuttle. Anyway, it's offish. Probably a little cut here and there, but I've kept all the inner lip and everything because I want to translate that over to the green limousine. Got some rust repairs to do down here. Fairly butchered at getting through those, what are they called? Those spot welds, but yeah, it's off. Next time you see it, it'll be in the shed. I'll start cleaning it up. And I want to paint the inside of it and get that all lovely. Cut the rust out of it. So yeah, you'll see that in a minute. Okay, I've got the plenum home. I'm just contemplating what I'm going to do next. Probably just going to get the stripper disc and start stripping it back, get it in some primer. Got a lot of body work, a lot of cutting to do, but it's here. I had these strange ideas this morning that I would try and rescue this one. I don't know why, it's probably nostalgia, to try and keep the original steel, but there is no original steel in that. If we have a look at these vents here, they're absolutely shot to pieces. That, where the windscreen wiper comes through, stuffed. You know, when you compare it to this over here, and the quality of this steel compared, you know, yes, I know it's not perfect. I'm very aware of that, but it's definitely better than this. And from a work perspective, I'm ready to start doing the easier way than busting my hump. I've got these tools here, and I wanted to show you that that's all I use to get this thing off. Ozito is very, very budget friendly, low cost, low quality gear from what we have as our warehouse. So we have Bunnings in Australia. You know, they start with a brand called XU1, which is absolutely bottom of the range, and then we go to Ozito, and then we work our way up. They also sell our Ryobi gear, and I use this Ryobi tech gun to drill out all my spot welds, because I got this baby here from Temu for like $4, something ridiculous. And these are self-tapping drill bits, but they go into the tech end, and they cut really well. I mean, I'm blunting that, and I had to sharpen it halfway through, but that puts a heck of a lot of torque in, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want to be spinning for ages like with a drill. I just wanted to get the job done, and that certainly cut the workload down. So that's all I used apart from a hammer and a pry bar. I've got to recreate these bottoms down here, same as those, and you know, they got really munted up getting it off, because it fought me the whole way. But you know, 2 hours of work, imagine how long it would take to fix that thing. Just imagine. This is still going to take a while, but definitely progress, definitely happy. Yeah, we're ticking along nicely. Anyway, I'll catch you after. I'm tidying up the inside of this scuttle panel, because I've done that. I've painted it. It's gloss acrylic black. I don't know whether I'm going to leave it gloss or whether I'm going to dull it off. I don't know whether I'm going to put a coat over the top of it of some kind of a rubber liner, or I just haven't got that far in my thinking yet. It may just end up looking like that. So a couple of really solid coats of acrylic black. This is the new scuttle panel of the VH Town and Country. You can see here they've had a bit of a hole in that and they've filled it, so I've got to do a bit of work there. I've obviously got to do a bit of work here, but just using very simple tools like this wire wheel on the old Ryobi. Okay, and the right angle die grinder with the what I call a coral wheel with the stripper disc on it. I cleaned this side up yesterday. I stripped that back till it was all clean metal. There'll be a bit of work on that before I'm done, but at least that keeps it protected while I'm getting the rest of it done. But they're basic tools, very, very basic tools. I used the stripper disc. I used, well, I bought off Temu for very little amount of money a whole packet of discs. Let's have a look over here. These sort of discs. So they came in the same kit as that little stripper wheel. This stuff is really basic stuff, but if you don't have a sandblaster, you can get away with using this stuff, and it does a really good job. So I took that right back to bare metal. When I get this one back to bare metal, I'll video it, but they're the tools I'll be using, primarily those two. And I run that die grinder with this tiny little Black Ridge air compressor, which is a 40-litre tank, and I don't know how many litres per minute. I can't see that from up here, but it's not a big one. Well, it's not the size, it's how you use it. And so that's a tiny little compressor that does a really big job. Also, I was concerned about how I was going to get into these, the back of these vents, but that's what that's probably 2 or 3 minutes with a, let me get my hand behind that so you can focus. See how that's cleaned them up compared to beside it? And that was just using the wire wheel. And the great thing about these wire wheels, when you put them in a little impact gun like this, a little tech one, stop it, is, now I have to chase it, give me a second. Yeah, the great thing is, because they lock in, so it's not like when you put one of these on a drill, because they lock into these things, you can go forward and reverse. So a lot of the time you'll be using a wire wheel, and it will all the wire, all the hair, it lays one way, and it kind of becomes ineffective after a while. And with these you can go forwards and reverse, and you're always keeping it prime, basically, for doing the job that you want it to do. So I'm very encouraged. I think it's going to do a really good job. You know, once I do this, I will be putting like sound deadener on the inside of this, because I really want to make this car quiet inside if I can, and every little bit helps. So yeah, I will cut you back in when I've got that side stripped, and I'll show you what it looks like. That's what we've ended up with there. It's much better than it was. I used one of these babies here. Ooh. Right, they came in that kit from Temu for like, I don't know, I'll put a link in the thing, but yeah, they're really soft and pliable. They're not that hard at all, and they strip back that primer like it's not even there, and they've taken majority of the surface rust off. We've still got some here. I'll hit with 60 grit on the old die grinder. Again, that was all in that same kit. An amazing kit. It was like hardly any money. I am a bit of a Temu addict. That's how they've turned out. I've still got a little bit to do up there. They were all done with the wire wheel on the Ryobi, except I ran out of battery. I couldn't get all the way in here. As that wire wheel wears down, I'll save that for things like this, because it's too fat at the moment and I can't get in there. It's like as it hits here, it's hitting this back edge, and I'm just not getting that last tiny little bit. But that's how it looked over there before I ran out of battery, and then that's how that looks now. So yeah, I'm going to chuck a quick bit of primer on that for tonight. I'll probably call it a night. But I gotta say, I'm very encouraged by how far we're coming. That hole there was a lot bigger than I thought it would be, but I'm not worried about it. I'm going to put a bit of aluminium in behind it and then just weld it up. I don't think I'll bother plating it, but never say never. Okay, just want to talk about this for a second. They're not super abrasive, so they're really good at stripping the paint off and the rust off, but they don't take a lot of your metal, right? And I've just chucked this new one on mere seconds after I finished recording the last bit, and then I want to show you what it does. And remember I said I was going to hit this with the 60. Well, I thought, what will happen if I hit it with the, where are we? There's the rust there. What happens if I hit it with this thing? Ready? It just absolutely eats up that surface rust. So I'm going to go over it again with the new disc before I prime it. I just spent the last 20 minutes or so stripping this back. Something I didn't know that I think is an excellent thing to find out. When you buy these little kits from like Super Cheap, or I don't know what you guys have over in America and England and stuff, but when you get these kits, they have the stripper discs that I always use, and they've got these flap discs. They have these polishing discs here, all for your angle grinder. They have this disc here, and I've always wondered what that's for, because it says sponge polishing disc, and I don't know, never really had to worry about them. So I have about, I don't know, 5 or 6, maybe more, lying around, and I've run out of my stripper discs for my angle grinder, and I thought, well, I wonder what they do. They did all of this. Let me show you just how effective these babies are. First polishing disc, exact same as this one here, sponge polishing disc, nothing special. Straight down the bare metal. And you can see you've got your top coat primer and then the red oxide primer. And you feel that it's a significant lip. And that took no time at all to knock that off. So yeah, for the 20 odd bucks they are to buy, $25, there you go, $25 to buy them, last time I checked. That's ripper, literally and metaphorically. I just pulled the trailer out of the paddock with the 245s and the diffs in it, and I am pleased to say that I've been looking everywhere for a distributor and a starter motor, and stupid me, it's got a distributor in it. So I'll replace the cap, probably replace the arm and the points and all the rest of it. Oh, come on. So they don't look terrible. But yeah, I'll probably still replace all of that. And I needed a starter motor. AI told me that a 225 one wouldn't fit, but I pulled this one off a 225 and put it on the 215 that was in my town and country. Went straight on. So I'm going to get them running in the next week or two. Stay tuned.